More women are launching side hustles. They are building wealth, owning their ambitions. But why is it that female success still makes some people uncomfortable? Hello and welcome to Women Talk, where we celebrate real conversations shaping women today. My name is Nadia Heng. And of course, once upon a time, a side hustle meant making extra pocket money. But today, a side hustle can mean building a brand, building a business empire, and financial freedom. And while men who are ambitious often get praised, women who are ambitious still get questioned. So in this episode, we're going to explore this topic. When women are financially successful, should society fear her or should they fund her? Well, today I'm joined by two incredible guests here with me. Thank you for joining us. We've got Lily Shah, entrepreneur, and who's very, very famous for building and growing brands. And then, of course, we also have the wonderful Maple Lu. Thank you so much for joining us. Hi. Business owner and also very renowned for dance and choreography. So, ladies, it's a pleasure to have you both on the show today. This is quite an interesting topic. Maple, tell me, why do you think it is that women feel the need to sign themselves up for multiple income streams in this day and age?
Well, I can speak for myself to begin with. Actually, I always say, why not, right? When you have the gifts, when you have the talent, and you want to do multiple things, why not? And especially so if it brings you money, right? For a lot of women, I think today, they also see, the beauty in freedom. Mm-hmm. Okay, there are a lot of women that I know who do many, many part-time work, and kind of wanting more freedom to do, their own thing, free time, me time, especially women who don't have children, and it's a progressive thing for women that we have now the choice to pick what we want to do. And there are so many avenues for women to choose now, from fitness to wellness, right? We don't really have to go into the corporate world if we don't want to.
Absolutely. It feels like the world is really very much our oyster. And why not, right?
Yeah, why not?
It makes you more financially free and independent. Lily, what about you? Why do you think more and more women are opting to find multiple income streams?
Well, I think first of all is the economy. We don't really have a choice. That's one thing, especially for people who have children. Especially like for myself, I have two boys. So there's a need for multiple incomes. You can't just rely on one income nowadays. The economy is really quite bad and it's getting really, really expensive. Especially if you have kids. I mean, tuition classes, extra classes, all the classes. So there's so many different things. But also I think women just love having their own money as well, not having to answer to anybody about what I want to spend on, buying that new handbag, spending on yourself, pampering yourself as well. So, I mean, I think that's a given, like this day and age.
Yeah. It's incredibly empowering when you put it like that. Yeah. Maple, do you feel like today, in this day and age, women are viewing this concept of money differently from generations before us? And is there anything wrong with that if we're putting money first at the top of our mind as a priority?
I mean, we are a very lucky generation, okay? Now that we don't have to look at money as a mode of survival, right? As a currency for survival. Now we are looking at money for our material things, okay? It's comfort in this generation. So now, compared to our grandparents, our grandmothers, they probably had to really hustle, to put, the plate on the table for her family. We don't really have to worry that much now because the survival, things are pretty much taken care of, right? So I think a lot of women now who actually have side hustles are doing it because they want to enjoy the luxury of, like you said, buying that handbag or, going for your facial or, a spa day. So I think that is it's a great time for women.
I love that. So Lily, why do you think it is that a lot of women say, I really want to do this, but I'm not ready? What do you think is the ultimate reason that we're putting it off and not exploring that multiple or second income stream?
Yeah, I think the main thing is probably they're not confident because they've never done it before. I come from a family that doesn't do business at all. So I'm the first person in my family that actually started like my own business. So my mom was like, are you sure? Are you sure you should do this? And you just have to be confident with yourself. And I think a lot of women, they're just not confident in themselves, and maybe their circles are not doing what businesses, and maybe people around them are not doing businesses, so they do not have the confidence in themselves to do that. But also I think it could be that they are probably overthinking it too much. Getting things right, getting the brand right, getting everything right before launching it. But women should actually just go right in, try it out, and if you fail, it's okay, try again, and you learn on the way.
I love that. Execute and figure it out along the way, right? Ladies, if there is one skill that you think women should really adopt or learn in 2026 to make extra income, what would it be, Maple?
I think they should learn how to dance.
Oh, I love that. And how's that going to help us make extra income? Is it because we're happier people?
Yeah, you're happier, like the self-confidence, right? And, learning how to not worry too much.
Yeah.
And maybe you can even use that skill to become an instructor. You come to me for that.
Very, very cool. I didn't even think of that. What about you, Lily?
The skills, I think in this day and age is AI. AI is so helpful these days, and I think it makes life a little much easier for you, for anyone basically, to just go on an AI platform, ask it, how should I do this? And basically it will bring you along the way. So it will give you step by step on how to execute things. If you don't know anything, you don't have to be shy. It's just you and the AI. So hop into that AI, just start it, and keep on trying out things.
I love that. Well, I have to say, you have both given me 2 additional things to add to my list of things to learn and to do, to hopefully this time next year, if I see you again, I'll be making extra income thanks to my AI knowledge and dancing. Hopefully you've been inspired. We're going to take a little break, but when we return, we're going to explore this topic even further. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Women Talk. I'm Nadia Heng, and joining me in the studio today is the wonderful, radiant Lily Shah and the beautiful Maple Lou. Thank you, ladies, for bringing your energy to the studio. We're going to dive back into this topic, and while it might seem like positive news, women-owned businesses are increasing worldwide according to research, it's also shown that many female founders are receiving significantly less investment funding compared to our male counterparts. And that's not the only thing. A lot of women in the workplace, when they're successful, they get labeled as being bossy or being too much or intimidating. And these are all traits that men are often praised for. So the question is, are women actually being supported or penalized for being successful? Have you ever been in the situation where your success has made other people feel uncomfortable? And how do you rise above that in that kind of a situation?
Okay, in my experience, I think it's not that my success had raised eyebrows. I think it's my persona. It's the things that I do. It's the things that I love doing. So I have not faced any backlash in that sense. And I'm very lucky because I can fund myself in all the businesses that I do. And I don't have to depend on, loans or a funder. So, that also comes from, from when I was much younger. I really wanted financial independence. And I am very good at saving money. So I managed to, do that for myself. And in terms of, people having a problem with my success, not really. I'm lucky, I'm blessed that I haven't had that much of a problem. It's very hard to please everybody. So, and I'm not everyone's cup of tea. So I have accepted that. and just based on that principle, I just move on.
I think that's so powerful, right? Having, like, being in your own and recognizing that what you do is what makes you happy, and just embracing that you can't, you've got to let everyone have their opinion, and it doesn't ultimately impact you.
Yes.
But what do you say to women who are affected by this? I think a lot of women are in powerful positions. They move around powerful circles, and their success does intimidate people. And sometimes you can't help but feel the need to shrink yourself in order to let other people's egos feel at ease and to feel comfortable. What is your advice for women in those positions? How should they navigate these complexities?
I would stand on, what I believe in, as in to be yourself. I know it's hard for people to accept you. And, sometimes you have to walk on eggshells with certain people. But I think women of that caliber would have the intelligence to do that. They would know exactly how to do it, what to do, how to talk, how to act. So, yeah, just be yourself and, use your instincts. I think that's one thing women, we are empowered with that. It's our instincts.
What about you, Lily? Do you have a different take on it?
Well, definitely do not shrink yourself. I think it all boils down back to confidence again, right? If you're not confident with yourself, then you definitely will shrink yourself. But I think it takes practice. So the more you put yourself out there, the more you get better. Maybe not immediately, but if you keep doing it and keep practicing, you'll be more confident, and you don't have to shrink yourself so much. And also, it really depends on your circle, right? Because if your circle are the type of people that is always in their bubble, not adventurous, not willing to explore or try new things, then you will be the same person as well, right? So it's all about like trying something new, or maybe even like really exploring and seeing where you actually stand. The group that you have these days, you might outgrow it, right? You might outgrow the certain group that you have at the moment. So find a group where you want to be.
Yeah.
If you want to be like a successful woman, then surround yourself with successful women that inspire you, so that you can be someone like them too.
How did you find your true circle, your core circle of people who support you and uplift you? And how important is it for women to, who are successful, to continue to be able to thrive? How important are these trusted circles? Maple?
It took many heartbreaks actually to come to where I am today, to be able to accept that, sometimes even if you are the kind of woman that would build relationships with other women, rooted in honesty, mutual respect, and even celebration, but not everyone's gonna be on the same page as you. So I've had a lot of, friends who were very close to me, girlfriends who are no longer friends with me. And, along the way, people change, and there may be a little bit of competition as well, So I guess, like you said as well, like you have to just, find your clique. You have to find your tribe.
Yeah.
And, surround yourself with other successful women.
I love that. Lily, have you found your people? Have you found your tribe?
I can definitely relate, because as you grow, previously before being a mom, you have this whole bunch of friends where everyone's single, everyone can go out late nights and stuff like that. But once you become a mom, it's like, okay, I'm done with the late nights. I'm super tired. By the time I get home, it's super tiring. I hear my kids all the time. You just want some quiet time for yourself, right? So you definitely will outgrow your different circles, and as you grow, you will find those different circles. For me, I think it helps that I go and join different classes, like communities and stuff like that. And I think these days there's so many different communities. If you're a mom needing help, there's mom communities. If you're a businesswoman, there are business owner communities. So go ahead and find those communities and be part of that community, so that you will be, like you said, find your clique, right? Yeah. So
surrounded by like-minded women
Yes,
who will help
women.
uplift you
Absolutely.
in whatever you're pursuing.
Correct.
Right? I love that. Thank you, ladies. We're going to come back with our final segment in a moment, but meanwhile, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. to Women Talk. I'm Nadia Heng, and here with me in the studio, we've got Lily Shah and Maple Lu. So we're talking about women empowerment here, and I've got some pretty positive statistics to share with you. You know, last year alone, figures from the Department of Statistics Malaysia have shown that female labor force participation rate reached a record 56.6% as of late 2025, which is the highest record to date. At the same time, Malaysia recorded more than 219,000 women-owned establishments. That's approximately 20% of all registered business establishments in Malaysia. A lot of it's in retail, food, and services. And also women have now hold 28% of board seats in public listed companies, which again is a major rise compared to previous years. So these are all really encouraging signals. And of course, we can see there's definitely momentum here. But I would like to ask and start off with you, Maple. When we talk about women empowerment, do you feel like sometimes we focus a little bit too much on the inspirational stories and not enough on the structural realities? For example, access to investment funding, access to childcare and unpaid labor. What is the reality here?
It's empowering, but women need to take action. So there is a lot of things flying around, inspiring, individuals. But at the end of the day, is really, taking charge. So take action. If you want to do something, go ahead and do it, and everything will align and sort itself out.
Lily, what systems do you feel like really need to change if women are not just going to survive in business, but really thrive? What are some of those elements that need to change?
Being a mom, having my own business, having a job, you really do need to have that support. So in my support, I really have my mother-in-law. Without my mother-in-law, I cannot live. Because on weekends...
Shout out to mom-in-law.
Shout out to mom-in-law. So yeah, I mean, during weekends, can you imagine, like, for example, if I'm going to open up a booth at the market or something like that, to sell stuff, then I would need somebody at home to take care of my kids, right? So it's definitely, childcare is very, very important. Or maybe even a supportive family member. If it's not childcare, you're a very supportive family member. My husband is also very, very supportive in what I do. And also, I think the flexibility of things with my job is very flexible as well. And I think a lot more companies are being more flexible these days. So women are having the chance to explore all these side incomes, and having that flexibility would really, really help, because we get things done as moms, or women in general, we get things done. It's just that we have priorities, like picking up kids from school, going to a doctor's appointment or something like that. So it needs to be flexible in order for us to definitely thrive in the business world, basically.
Okay, while we're on the subject, let's talk about the digital economy. You know, the digital economy has really provided a lot of visibility to people, and that also comes with a whole lot of opportunity. But, on the flip side, the algorithm also very much rewards beauty, youthfulness, constant availability. So at the end of the day, I'm curious, do you feel like the digital economy actually is empowering, or are we looking at this in a very twisted manner?
So a lot of people don't realize that whatever that's online is a highlight reel. So people don't usually post like, the crying moments, the hardships and all that. People usually post the highlights, right? The happy stuff, like, I got this award, I got that award. And this is an inspiration. I was being featured at Women's Talk today, which I will do. But also, I think social media is changing these days. So a lot of people are wanting more raw, because there's so much AI content out there. There's so much pretty things that people are wanting to people are craving more raw stuff. So that's why you see a lot of entrepreneurs sharing the realities behind all these businesses. I think people are moving towards more raw content.
More real.
More real content, yeah.
So Maple, what do you think must happen if we really want to see, in the next decade, progress for women, to make that progress truly transformative? What needs to happen?
Well, I think it's very important to be the woman who honors her energy as much as ambition. And, for us to have a certain sort of practice or life tools that we can use to for physical as well as spiritual manifestations. Because, every thought and any emotion within us has a direct effect on, the flow of internal energy. And if we are good internally, if we want to truly be happy, we really ought to work on our ability to perceive, And I think that is, it's like a quantum leap for women.
And I think that's a perfect way to wrap up our session today. Thank you so much, once again, Maple and Lily, for being here in the studio, sharing your energy and your knowledge with us today. And remember, ladies, when women grow financially, families grow stronger, our business grows stronger, and ultimately our communities get even stronger. And remember as well that ambition is not arrogance, and you do not need to apologize for your success. If you've loved the content and, of course, our conversations here today, make sure you stay tuned for more episodes like this. You can also follow us on our social media, Women Talk TV3, and also TV3 Malaysia. My name is Nadia Heng, signing off. Until the next time, take care, guys.